Do you have old blog posts on your website that are just no longer getting any more traffic? In this video, I'm going to show you guys exactly how I was able to optimize an old blog on our website that was doing very well a few years ago for us, but when I look at it today in the last 30 days, even in the last 90 days, is getting very minimal traffic. In this video, this is an old training that I had put together for one of my team members who I was training on how to optimize some of the old blogs to bring them back to life so as to start getting some traffic coming from it, because I noticed that the traffic had kind of slowed down. And I think this would be helpful to you because you might have older blogs on your website that you want to bring back, you want to get some traffic going to it, and I'll show you exactly how to optimize it and make it friendly for Google so that Google starts showing you some love and getting you some new links to your website. This blog post I found here, I looked at it, it was done back in 2018. So I was just curious to see how that blog is actually performing. Is it actually doing anything for us? And so what I did was, the first thing I did was I used a cool tool that we have with Google Search Console to show us. So the first thing I did was I went and inspected the URL. It looks like everything's good. It's indexed on Google. It's got coverage. Everything from a submission perspective, it looks good, right? So that's a good first sign. Where I got a little worried is when I looked at that particular URL, what is it ranking for? Even in the last 90 days, has it done anything for us? And as you can see here, it got 0 queries. So for some reason, that URL is not ranking for any particular keywords. So what I did was I went in, I looked at any manual issues on it. There doesn't seem to be anything wrong with it. So it just means that the content might not be properly geared in terms of any viable keywords. So what I did was I just took the URL and I put it right into Google and I got some keyword suggestions, right? One of them that jumped out at me based on the content on it is how to build a website. And as you can see, that has 880 searches a month in our local market. So definitely a good viable one to get the ball going with. So I'm just going to take that as an example for a case study. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put it right here. I put it into LSI graph so I can grab a couple of synonyms for it that we can also help optimize the rest of the page for. I then took those keywords and I put it into SERP.net so we can come up with the search volume. Now just keep in mind the search volume is globally, whereas the other one was just showing locally, and that's why the big difference is. But I just want to see how these terms are performing overall globally, and that is from an exact match perspective, not broad. So there, I came up with a short list of terms that I want to go after. A lot of them are synonyms. They're very similar. And the intention for that was that we can try and get it to rank for multiple pages, multiple terms using, after going after one keyword. So here's what the on page looks like. I set up the primary keyword, how to build a website. So that's the first one. I didn't put the URL. I should have put a URL in here, but the next one would be, so the URL is actually in the domain name. The keyword is actually in the URL. Then you want to look at the LSIs. So here are some of the LSIs that I found. Then I did the title. I rewrote the title to try and include some of these keywords in here, as well as a good meta description where, again, some of the keywords will be used in here to help with that. This was the previous one that was here. So we could definitely do some better job with getting some keywords in there as well. So here's the new page. I just published it again today, how to build a website with those keywords in here. And this is what the on page looks like right now. Actually, did I have a picture of the on page before? I did take a picture. Definitely had some areas for improvement. Just the terms that were coming up were not the best from an H2 perspective. I also remember whenever you do that, you want to go into the cPanel, and I can show you how to do that. You just go to cPanel and look for redirects, and you want to make sure that the old URL is pointing to the new URL. Right? So if there's any link juice or any previous links we made on the site or anywhere else, we're not going to lose that. It's going to go to the new page that we've just created. And I also made it redirect both with the www and not, and I also made it a wildcard. I posted it on Google GMB, right? Because that's going to be important. Also, I have it scheduled for social media campaign, which I spoke to you about for Missing Letter, as well as we're going to start looking at some areas for us to put some backlinks to that page, because it doesn't need a lot of backlinks. I think the top site was at like 35. So definitely we'll be able to get there very quickly. Let me know if you have any questions and how you think you can start to use this information to start putting together a plan on a weekly basis